Good trading day, peoples. Let's get over here and get started on Coney and Coin. Boy, Coin is really selling off right now. I just took a look. It was up 188, I think 190 around the open. And it's back down to 181. So synthetics are dying, but we're not losing any weeklies. Matter of fact, if this keeps up, we might even, we won't buy next week's back today. We've already won this week's. All right, let's jump into the relevant and let's take a look at what traded and what kind of inner days we had. Whoops, that's the wrong one. That's the one I want. No? Hold on. Yeah, that's the right one for 829. Okay. Let me copy these and put them on the next page. All right. That's not what I want. Okay. So what happened on 829? Here we are on 830. So I'll do something tomorrow morning on Saturday, and I owe you guys an estimate. I'll give you a close estimate today on Misty and Coney, and then I'll give you a final estimate over the weekend. And when I do that, I have to assess a little bit of what could happen next week. So it might be a slight range on the ones that I cover like this. Other ones, I'll just give you an overall estimate. All right, so we were down 1.01 on coin, down to 188. And as I mentioned, we're a couple hours into trading and we're around 181. So that's a little bit of ugliness. And those of you are listening, well, yeah, we're back to 58. So we were 60 around the open, and now we're down 1,170 points. So that's not looking good. S&P is only up 2. Gold selling off a little. Yeah, crypto, stock market's relatively flat right now. Okay, so 0.83, but that's ugly. Coney at 15. I mean, every time it went to 17 or 16, it roared back. So very interesting. As you guys may have known, I think the second week of September will be very, very dangerous. I'm sort of expecting pretty good sized pullback. So we shall see. All right, let's jump into the rest of this. So what trade did they put on? Well, they put on several. Didn't make a lot of sense, but let me show it to you. And I say that it didn't make a lot of sense because which strike prices they chose to change around. So this initial, I totally get it. They came out here and they bought 530 contracts because they had some shares bought into it. Like 225,000 shares were added. So on Thursday, they went out to their lowest strike price, which is closest to the money. Remember, they closed at 190. They didn't want to write 210s and 200s. And so they wrote a 195. And even on that one, they spent more to buy than they could sell the put for. So they must not have been that underwater when they wrote this during the day, even though they closed at 190. So a small amount of contracts here they added, and it cost them a little bit of money, negligible. So then they sold more next week contracts, right? Because they've already won all this week. So they wrote a 906, expiring the week of 906. They wrote a 205. They had a 207 and a half, and they added to their 205, 530 contracts, they got almost $3. This is the part that's a little strange. So they had a 210, that's their large contract, and they had 13,050 contracts remaining. They've been closing out some, but now they're pretty far down below, and it doesn't expire till September 20th. So there can be multiple reasons why, but to the naked eye, it doesn't make a lot of sense, because they sell something for 7 and they buy it at close for 20 and a half. Should Bitcoin move up aggressively and coin go back to 210 where it's got 3 weeks to go, this could be profitable. But what they did was they closed it out at a loss, and then they had a slight loss even transferring it to the 195. So you lose $13 a share times 13,000 contract, right? That cost them like 21 million, 25 million, I think even 27. I'll look at the number in a second. So here cost them like $2.35. And now those are pretty ugly because we're trading at 181. We closed at 190, okay, yesterday. And today we were around 190, then it started going down. And as I'm recording this a few hours into the Friday morning trade, we're trading at 181.69, right? So down 6.5, down 341, 3.47%. So I can show you these, okay, and here's the 530. So, you know, we didn't add much. We got almost 9 million here, so we only had 156,000. And this came about, these were closing these out and rolling to the next week. This was just added shares bought into the fund. So let's go look at the 210. So yeah, this thing cost them $17.5 million to close that out. And so now there are no more contracts on the 210. So when they roll the 195, so they roll into the 195, and this one cost them, cost them 2.5 mil, something, 2.9 mil, right, of the difference. So they went from 11 mil loss to a 14.1. So sorry, that's 3,100,000. I didn't bother to put it out here. You can just see that their old loss was 11 million and their new loss is 14.1. So we lose, what did I say, 27 here on the 210, yeah, or 17.6 and another 3. So there's like 21 million essentially to make that move when they didn't have, I mean, they had it in paper loss anyhow, but they didn't have to do that move. So I'm not really sure why they did. That put them in a negative cash position. But you look down here, so yesterday they had a 33, I didn't move these over. Yesterday they had a 33 million loss. Now they only have a 26 million because they took the real loss, right? A whole bunch more real loss. So this is all current paper loss. It hasn't been closed out. So here's 225,000 shares that they bought into, or that were bought into the fund, giving them a little cash to put on some more trades. We closed at 1545 and fair value was 1546. So you can see on the weeklies, and remember, these are, as I tell you, this is with 5 more trading days, because next week only has 4 trading days, right? Monday's a holiday. So you have 4 trading days plus Friday. Now I'm reporting this and we're in Friday. So these things are gaining a lot more. And they're gaining the collected money. So they're probably up to 50% or more because we're down at 181. So a 205 and a 207 for next week. pretty much just time premium, right? And so I imagine on Monday and Tuesday, unless we go roaring back up into the 195s, they could probably take these off come Tuesday and have 90% captured. Tuesday would be the first day of trading, but there would only be 3 more trading days. So I think with a good low 180 close here. So just again, it's half the equation. Now this 26 million loss is going to become like a $46 million loss, right? Paper loss, because you're dropping, right? You're now $7. No, you're $15 below this. Now add the time premium out there. This number is probably, 10, and this number is probably 25. So we're going the wrong way. It's probably a 35 million loss just on this guy, and a big loss on this one. All right, guys. So the weeklies look like this. I mean, it's basically a non-issue, right? Let me see if this is even calculating correctly. Yeah, it's 188, but guys, think right now, I mean, where we are. So we've got 5 trading days to go, and we're 9 and 10% away, and now we're substantially more than that. We're probably 15 and 12, something like that. Again, anything can happen. All right, so on the holdings, we continue to see that. We're dropping in our price. We're winning on next week weeklies. When you haven't even gone into the week, now we have, and these are 50%. That's great, but not at the sake of 20, 30 million in the synthetic, right? That's why when Tesla was going down and the NAV was shrinking a lot, back when it went from 225 down to 100, people were getting paid, but the NAV was just getting destroyed because of synthetic. So as much as I complain sometimes about being capped, at least the synthetic is making money. It's just you want that weekly income to get a lot more money to pay you. But when you're going down on that, so we want Bitcoin and Coinbase and MSTR for Misty, we want those to turn around and run up. Who knows in September though, guys? I'm even bearish on my favorite gold. I think the high in August will be higher than any high in September for gold. So I'm expecting almost everything to sell off in September. So let's see. There's certainly some inverse. I think, the VIX won't sell off. The VIX should spike, but we shall see, right? All right. So let's take a look at payments. That's all that's left. So I'm going to give you something this weekend because in some fairness, I want to see Friday, but I'm already seeing a couple hours of Friday. There's no more calls to write unless people buy in the fund, and I wouldn't know that until, Friday night, and then I'll probably report Saturday morning. So my guess right now, giving you an early one, although I'll update it, is 83 cents to $1. So a couple of thoughts. We've earned 79 cents right now, but overall we've got a loss. So if they want to pay us what we earned in short call, they would have to, even to pay 83 cents, give us some return of capital. Because we're already showing next week's calls here, right? They're already baked in to this. So if they lose those next week, then our synthetic would be better. So I don't know if they want coin to drop below $1. It's not likely to earn $1. Well, it's simply not earning $1. So your guess is as good as mine. If we go at the yield price, okay, and the current price, it's probably around 83 cents. But if they want to pay $1 or anywhere closer, do they want to pay 90 cents? Do they want to pay 87 cents? But I'll come in and I'll make a stab at an actual estimate this weekend for you guys. All right, so that's what I got for you. I mean, it's not great news. It's still earning and paying something, but I don't see anything the fund managers are doing wrong. It's the market, right? It's the market. We need the underlying to move up, right? And we need Bitcoin to move up so coin can move up. We need Bitcoin to move up so MSTR can move up for our cryptos. All right, guys, again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for fun and entertainment. Have a great day ahead. Bye for now.